Okay, see, we have started database. And what is the best way of learning database? Some simple tips. Practice, that's it. Okay, you cannot learn database by seeing videos here. Okay, so if you see videos also, what you have to do is, while seeing the videos, you have to write down the queries, go and type the queries. But that's the only way you can learn database here. Understood? So most of you have done which one? Database in your college. What you have learned, what I am teaching is totally different. Okay, so what you have to understand now is, so I am covering database from many angles here. One, we are learning database from database point of view only. Means database is database. We are learning like that. So database, from database point of view we are learning. Second, we are learning it from application point of view. Means how an database is used in an application. Three, we are learning it from an industry standard point of view. Means how database is used in big industries. Yeah. Then some more things are there, like we are going to learn database from one basic certification is there in Oracle. So we are learning database from some basic certification point of view. Like how you got certification in Java, you got certification in database also. So this much of topics or still more, I'll be wrapping it up in just 20 days. Understood? Accurately, pinpointedly I'll be covering you all the topics pinpointedly. Understood? So put more effort and learn. Otherwise later on it will become difficult for you, because okay, one more thing, we are seeing database from technologies like Hibernate point of view. We'll be learning database from JDBC, Hibernate from this point of view. Generally you have learned in school only, in school or college from this point of view. What? Database is database. Insert, update, delete, like that you have learned. But these are the extra things what we'll be covering here. Understood? So still more are there, you'll understand later, but we are going database in a massive in-depth level. So better you start practicing. Best way is take a big book, okay, start writing notes. A new book you maintain now. Okay, simply bring on short book and all that, nothing, it will not be sufficient. Best is you try to bring some big books and start writing the notes for all this. Clear now? So it's an intense subject. Without database you can't do any application. Right now you are interested to develop applications, but without database there is no point in developing applications. Yesterday also I told you how an application will be used where now. How a database will be used in the development of an application. See, you will be having a UI. You will be having a UI like this. Enter name, enter password. So this is the UI. So and the user will be submitting the values. More values will give. I'm writing only 2 there. Okay, so the values will enter your application. So application can be developed using any language, I told you. You can develop your application using C, C++, Java, VB, PHP, Joomla, the list is endless. Any application you develop, back end you need what? Database is mandatory. So that is the location where you'll be storing all your values permanently. Are you clear with this now? So this I'll remove now. So work hard on database. So what happens is, see, so this is the way database will be used now. So all your, right now what we are doing is we are using on SQL editor. We are using on SQL editor, that is SQL prompt, and we typed the queries here yesterday. So this editor was giving the values to database, and we are processing everything now. But later on what will happen, this will be the flow. Like the same queries what you are writing here, you are writing your SQL queries here now. The same query will be written in what? So we write SQL queries in application. Here you will write. So use whatever language now. You use C, C++, COBOL, whatever, that is irrespective now. Okay, but the same queries will be written in your application. So how good you practice writing your queries, that better you can develop your application. Because see, here you create an error, you'll find out and you'll debug. But if you make mistakes in writing the queries in your application, it will be very difficult to debug. So practice writing your queries very clearly here itself, so that you will not face the difficulty in the future development of applications. Clear now? So you'll be writing all your SQL queries here, keep that in mind. So values will enter your application. That means supposing now 2 values have come. Now this value I want to store it in database. I'll write insert query. Yesterday what you wrote. Then supposingly use these 2 values. You want the other values. Now you'll write the select query. Select start from where name is equal to so and so and password is equal to so and so, and you'll fetch the values. So sometimes you'll dump the values, sometimes you'll retrieve the values. Okay, like this, you'll bring, see, end of the day your application will be getting values. From where does your application get the value? It's very simple. For processing your application will be written once. But for processing, your application needs what? Values. So the values will either come from the UI like this, or the values will be coming from the database like this. So this is how the values will be supplied into your application. Understood? User given values, we'll see how we get it, because that is still pending. But we are now going to see how we can fetch the values into the application from the database. Clear now? This is the actual scenario of how database will be used in a project or application. That's why I told you we are going to learn database in an in-depth way like this. Some 5 to 6 points I listed. So practice hard, because later on you might find the difficulty if you don't practice now, because right now it is very simple. Okay, later on everything will start getting accumulated, because why? We have to use one language here for coding, then we will have to writing the query now. You have to write the query, so all this will jumble up. So that time it will become intense. Fact is, if you learn stage by stage, it will be easy. Clear this? So this is how it will be used. And yesterday what did we do? Yesterday what did we do? The summary of yesterday's class. I installed the database. Which database? Oracle. So as soon as you installed, what were you getting? This is the summary of yesterday's class now. So I installed the database. In the Oracle database, there were already what? 2 schemas. Which are the 2 schemas? One is system, the other one is HR. These are the, this one, what is that? Schemas. So schema or user, you can say. System. Okay, and the password I gave for this is cluster. So system is the schema name. And cluster is the password I gave. While installing it asked you. Similarly, there was one more schema by name what? HR. It was there by default. It was locked. I entered which one? System, and I unlocked this. Okay, so this is the administrator. So the password for which I gave this is HR. So this is user. This is password. This user is also known as what? Schema in Oracle. That's the terminology. Same way, this is one more user or schema, and this is the password. I gave the password, and inside this schema we created a table called as employee. We created a table called as employee, and this was the table. What was the table? It was having, in short I'll write employee ID, name, salary. But to work with the database, what did I use? I used on SQL editor. Use on SQL editor. How did you get the SQL editor? You went to DOS prompt, typed SQL plus, so you got this editor. So here you write your SQL queries. So SQL is one language which is used to interact with what? Database. It is used to interact with the database. So you give your query here. If your query is correct, it will compile and then it will execute. It will be given to the database. The database will accept your query. It's a high level language. So it will be compiled and then it will be executed. If you give a wrong query, it fails to compile and it fails to execute. You don't bother about compilation. Compilation will happen implicitly. Understood? So it will be given to the database, and this is how we went on to insert the values. What values? 101, Ramesh, 1000. So we started storing Rajesh, 2000. Like this we went on storing the values. After storing, I started updating also. I did all the CRUD operations. Okay, so we did all the CRUD operations. CRUD operations means what? CRUD. We did all the CRUD operations now. What are the different CRUD operations you did now yesterday? C stands for creating a record, and it will be done with the help of insert query. R stands for reading a record. I did it with the help of select query. U stands for updating a record, and we did it with the help of update query. And D stands for deleting a record. It will be done with the help of delete query. Understood? That's all we did. So we typed these queries, and this went on giving to the database, and there the manipulation started happening. As I told you, today we are using editor like this, but later on the same queries will be written in your application. Understood? So as an application developer, we go on to do CRUD operations with the database. So tables will be ready in the database. So what does the developer do now? Application developer, he is going to write the front end for it. Front end, like he gives the name and password. You have to display all his details. Okay, like you might you'll be having many options here. Show all users. One more link might come. So if you click on show all users, what will happen? It will come to the request will come to your application will connect to database, and it will display all the values of the user into the UI like this. So you can take any application in the world, any application you want to take. This is the same thing they are doing. You take Gmail, Yahoo, Rediff, any application you want to take in the world. Okay, end of the day you can see that there are some links or options you got. You click the button, end of the day backend what's going to happen? It's going to do a CRUD operation. You click some button, it will delete a record. You click some button, it might update a record. Or you click some button, it might insert a record. That is all application developer is going to do. More than that, nothing is there in application development. It's such a simple subject. It's a very simple subject. So this is what you have to do in the industry. Understood now? See here you might see if I enter name and password, you might display all his values. Supposingly there is one more screen. Take this now. There is one link, show all users. So what will happen now if you click on this? It will display all the users. Now whichever values you want to display, doesn't mean that you have to display his password and all that. Whatever columns you want, you display. For that you'll write what? Select queries. Understood? So sometimes it might be like show, like you might have one user, show all users whose salary is greater than, show all users who are staying in, okay, whose salary is greater than 3,000. You want to view all the people of salary, some links might be there. You click that, it will display from the database. So this is what happens actually. You take any application in the world, hardly it's going to do what? CRUD operation only. So that is going to happen in the back end. So that important database becomes in your application now. So do not neglect it. So if more you neglect, later on you start facing difficulty in writing your applications. So I have explained you the exact role of the database in your application. Is it clear to you? So and this is called as secondary memory. Now why are we storing the values in the database? It is secondary memory because as soon as your application completes execution, the values in your application are lost forever. Okay. See, we retrieve the values from database. They again come where? In primary memory. Your application will get the values from the user. That is primary memory. But once your application completes execution, what happens? The values in your primary memory are lost. That is why we dump it into database so that we can use it for further processing, later stages. Understood? He'll give all the values now. Okay, supposing he's becoming a member, you become a member to what? Rediff or Gmail or Yahoo. You'll give all the values. And that time your application will accept it, and first time what it will do? It will dump all the values into the database. Next time you are giving what? Only name and password. So other values will be retrieved from where? Database. This is all application development. So simple application development is, but people struggle to understand the concept of what is an application. And we'll see what tremendous support we get for writing these kind of applications now, especially from what? Java language. Okay, from Java language you get tremendous support for writing this kind of applications. In other languages we have very less support. It's one of the easy language also, plus you got brilliant libraries also. Brilliant libraries you got. So that's how you'll be seeing it. Do you have any questions on this? You understood the architecture of an application? Okay, and when we develop this will become very clear to you. This is what we are going to do here. End of the day we are going to do this itself here. Clear? I'll clear all this now. Okay, and yesterday this was the summary. I showed you how to create a table, how to insert a record, how to update a record, how to read a record, and how to delete a record. This is what I did. Clear this now? So today also we'll continue to do the same. Some more queries we'll see today. We're going to see some more queries today also, and we'll continue to do the same thing now. Clear? Okay. And yesterday I showed you the installation. After installation I showed you how to unlock what? HR, correct? Huh? That is clear for you now. In case if you forget those steps of unlocking and all that, what you do when you install Oracle now, you'll get on a link automatically. On the shortcut will come onto the desktop. One shortcut will come. If in case you forget, I'm telling you. Okay, how to unlock HR. Installing is easy, but if you forget like how to unlock HR and all that, as soon as you install now, you'll get one shortcut created on the desktop. Get started with Oracle. You can open this and you can see the same thing is there. How to unlock HR. Login as database administrator. You have to log in. How will you log in? I told you yesterday, go to start menu. Go to what? Database, home page. Then you'll have to enter what? System and the password which you had given. Okay, and then this option you'll get. Then you click on that account. Like here they are telling you everything. Same thing, read this, what I showed yesterday only. They simply documented, that's it. A very simple document. Okay, just read it till here. That's more than sufficient. Some steps they are giving you to unlock what? HR. Okay, that's it. So what we'll do now is continue working with database today also. Clear this? Okay, so how to work with the database again? You have to connect, you need the SQL editor. So how do you get the SQL editor? Windows R. Go to the, which one? DOS prompt, CMD. CMD is a shortcut to go to what? DOS prompt. Go there, or another option if you want to go to DOS prompt is what? Start, where? You will hang the options like this. Command prompt, click, it will take you to the DOS prompt. From the DOS prompt, what will you type? SQL plus. So you will get this screen. Okay, enter username. You have to type which schema you want to enter now. I want to get into what? HR schema. The password for that is what? HR. But the password will not be visible. Just press enter. So it will enter now. It will get connected. This is one way how you can open up your editor. There is one more way. There are many shortcuts. Okay, there are many ways where you can get the SQL editor. Yesterday I used this. See, one more is, as soon as you install Oracle, okay, go to start option, go to programs, okay, and then you can go to Oracle where we have installed this option. You'll get, once you click on that, you'll be having run SQL command line. You'll be having run SQL command line. So what you will do now, click on this. Are you getting it? When you click on this, what happens? I'll repeat it here. Go to start, all programs, click on this option. So you click on run SQL command line. You are getting that link direct, means which one? SQL editor directly. But this editor is not connected to what? Any schema. So you have to connect. Now how do you connect? Means if you type anything here, select star from anything, you will get error. Select star means you can't execute any of your queries because it's still not connected to any schema. From employee, will give error. So what you have to do? It says not connected. So you have to connect. So how do you connect? Type CONNECT, connect. Okay. So it will ask you, enter the username. Just type connect. Okay, so it will ask enter username. So what is the username you are going to give? HR. Password, HR. Enter it. Okay, then say enter. Now it says connected. Now you are connected to which one? Database. So this is the editor now. So you are going to issue, or means to interact with the database, you need this editor. And you are going to type everything here itself. Clear? That's your option. Clear this? Okay, so this is one more option you have got. So today I did it in this particular way. Fine. Next, so we'll see now, we are in HR schema now. So today also I show you how to work with the tables only. Some more queries I'll teach you. I'll make you comfortable with what exactly is a table, what operations you do, means CRUD operations. See, yesterday I showed you how to create a table. I showed you how to work with what? How to do the CRUD operations. So generally when you have data now in your application, when you have data, that's what you're going to do. What will you do? You'll insert it, you'll read it, and you'll update it or you'll delete it. So this is what is going to happen. So when you're doing this, okay, imagine doing the same operations in file management system is very, very difficult. That is why we start using what? Databases. Because databases use DBMS type. Okay, database uses what? Database management system. Okay, but in file management system it's very difficult to do all the operations which I did yesterday. Understood? See, today also I'll write some queries. Okay, so you will get the output. Try to do the same thing in what? A file. Means store the data in a file and try to do the same operations on a file. It becomes very difficult. So that is why we use databases, because databases are having powerful database management system. Means it's a software which will help you to do all these operations, CRUD operations, in a very easy manner. If you want to do CRUD operations now, database will help you to do it very easily, because it's on software designed for that purpose only. It is a software which has been specifically designed for doing CRUD operations only. Done? So yes, sir. So now again today also means type all your queries in what? Caps. Type all your queries in caps. It's always advisable. Today I'll explain you why it's better you always type it in caps. Yesterday I didn't tell you. In fact, all the SQL queries are case insensitive. You can type it in small case or which one? Uppercase. It doesn't matter, you'll get the output. Okay, but better is, see, I type the HR in what? Small case. password also execute in small case, it will accept. Okay, so it is case insensitive. Okay, any query, I'll show you today, it is case insensitive. Okay, but better is we start practicing it in uppercase itself. I'll tell you the reasons today why. Because that is the international standard what we follow while writing queries. Because these queries, imagine, now they will be written in your application. Yes or no? This query is what you are learning now will be written in an application. No? So in an application, if you write it in small case, you will be unable to identify what is your programming language and what is the querying language. Like you have written a Java program. Okay, in Java program also you are using what? Small case and all that. Here, there again you mix it with what? See, in Java, like this we write. See, finally you will be writing it in Java application like this. st dot execute query. Example I am telling. st is an object, leave it. Execute query is what? One method. For that I pass an argument like this. Select star from employee. So this is how you will write in Java code now. Okay, but again, see, this is one option of writing. Second option is st dot execute query. So here this is case sensitive because Java method names and all are case sensitive. But if you want to write a query, see, select star from employee I'll write. So now see, it's getting highlighted. In your application this gets highlighted. So let it be a C program or a C++ program or a VB program. So whatever program you are writing, application, okay. So whichever language you are using for developing an application, it's better you use caps because the query gets highlighted in a better way. This is a convention what we follow. So even though it works, okay, right now see we are typing the queries as I told you in the editor. Same queries will be written in the application I told you. See, this will be your application now. Okay, see, this will be the UI. You will connect, so you will be executing the query. So this will connect to database. The query will be sent to the database now. The database will send you all the values to your application. This is how it will be happening. Understood? So that's the reason what you do, you always write it in uppercase because while debugging in your application, it becomes very easy. Else you start struggling there. So follow all these conventions from the beginning itself because later on, okay, you will fail to get adjusted to the conventions because more than coding in company, instead of getting output now, we focus on what? Conventions, because the code written by you will be used by many people now for debugging purpose and all that. So if you don't code it properly, they will not understand. So you might be getting the output, but they look for conventions. Understood? So Java has got its own style of convention. What? Class name should start with caps, method name should start with what? Small case, then the second word, you know the conventions of Java. These are the conventions followed by Java language. And this is a convention followed by SQL, database people. Clear? So follow all these conventions. It becomes very easy for you coding later, but without conventions, very difficult. So you are connected now. So let's see now. We'll start executing the queries. So the first query I'll execute. So I want to create a table. Okay. Some of you might be, yesterday when you started, while creating a table you might have got an error. Why you might get an error is, if the table is existing, you'll get an error. If the table is existing, first what you do? First delete the table and then you create your table. Understood? If your table is existing already, first what you should do? Delete the table. How do you delete the table? By using drop table. Okay, that is why best is first query always you write like this. Select, okay, select star from tab you do. So it will give you the list of all the tables in what? HR schema. Select star from tab will give you the list of all the tables in the HR schema. One more new query I am showing you today. So we are going to select, and see, if you want the previous query, you can use your up down arrow key. Up down. Okay, see, I just did up down, so I am getting that. I had made a spelling mistake. What you do? Scroll your cursor and type yes, press enter. So now it will display you the list of all the tables which have been created in what? HR schema. These are the different tables. See, when the Oracle was installed, you installed Oracle now. In the Oracle installation, when you did, what happened? System schema was there. HR schema was also there. We created a table by name employee yesterday. That is what we created. But by default, these tables are already there. Who has given you? Oracle has given it to you. For what purpose? You can use this table for studying purpose. For study purpose means you want, you can write queries on this. I'll be using them, you'll understand how later. So some of the built-in tables which are there are regions. So these are all existing tables. Regions, countries, so many are there. Locations. So these are all tables here. Table, table, table. They are telling you. Understood? So then there is one table called as employees. Noticed? So if you try to create one more table with the name employees, what happens? You'll get an error. So one table is already there. So like that around, how many tables are there? 9 tables are there. 9 rows have been selected. Means there are around 9 tables here. So built in, already existing. So now see, if you want, I'll show you. I'll write the query. Select star from employees. I'm working with whose table now? Their table. And better is, you see, always end with semicolon. Your query should end with semicolon, otherwise it will not execute. See, these are the list of values. 107 rows are there. It is getting scattered. Don't bother about that. But these are the different values which are present in employees table. If you want the description of the table, check out DESE employees. So it's having these many columns. Employee ID and all that. Okay. So just I showed you which are the existing tables there. So that is why before you create a table, check select star from tab, type and check. If your employee table is existing, that time what will you do? Drop it. Right now it is not there. So there is no point in dropping. But I just type and show you. Drop table. Don't drop the employees table. Drop your table. If it is there, drop table employee. It is not there. So it says table or view does not exist. So slowly you start getting adjusted to the environment. So if you want to create the table, now you can create it. Are you clear with this? First check whether the table is not there or not. If it is there, drop it. Okay, if it is not there, create it. Understood? So I'll create now. As it is, same way I'll do yesterday. What I did, to create a table, what did I do? Create table, you can type this query now. Understood? So I'll go on executing means. So yesterday I taught you how to create the table. So the table gets created. Which table now? Employee. This is the one which is getting created. So write down all these queries and type and practice. Understood? Because most of you might have studied in college. What do you think? I know database. Nothing you know, I'm telling you very clearly. Understood? So better you practice it. So describe employee, now the table has been created. Now see, I'll drop the table. Just I show you. Drop table employee. See, now the table is dropped. You didn't get that error message. Understood now? So like this. Anyway, we start off creating the table, and yesterday I showed you the syntax also. What is the syntax we used for creating the table yesterday? Yeah, this is the syntax I used. Create table. Yes or no? So this was the syntax. This is the syntax. Create table name, column name, data type size, column name, data type size, column name, data type size. Like this you can create any number of columns. I created the employee table. Create, see the same syntax, employee, column name is what? Employee ID. This is also on convention. The first column name will always be what? Convention, not rule. Will be the name of the table underscore ID. Whatever the name of the table underscore ID. Okay. Then what is the data type? Number, the size. Second column name, the data type. The data type, size. So here these are the data types. Like this. Okay. See, already some tables are there. We go on to create one more table. Where? In which schema? HR schema itself. This is what we did yesterday. And next, see, what are the different data types available in Java? There are many data types. I used only 3 yesterday. There are many. See here, char. You can use instead of varchar, what you can use? Char also you can use. Or you can use varchar2. Or you can use number. You can use date. You can use blob. Like that, many data types are there. In Java, I got many data types now. Same in Oracle also, there are many data types. Okay. So varchar is used for what? Storing string value. Number is used for storing numeric value. Date is used for storing what? Dates. I'll be showing you. When we use it, you'll understand. And blob is there, one more data type. It is used for storing what? images, videos, sound clips, all this. In your application you might have, like you upload your resume into Naukri. On Naukri application, what it will do? It will dump that file into one database. So that column type will be called as blob or something. Blob, binary large object. Full form of that is. So like that, it is giving you full support for storing all your values which are there in your application into the database. Full-fledged support it gives you. Okay, so are you clear with this? So what is DBMS now? Understanding now, it gives you full-fledged support for doing what? All the CRUD operations, and also it gives you security. Security means, see, you don't know where the table is now. Find in the computer. You know, generally whichever file you store now or create, what happens? You can search the file. How will you search? You can say, see, if I have a file, something like my resume.doc, how will I search? I can go to my computer, I can go and search. I can search and I'll find it wherever it is. I use the search option now. You know what is search option now? Go to Windows Explorer. Here you click what? Where is search here? Here. Okay, here I can search in the entire computer if I want. Okay, or you can search it in what? You can open this and search in one particular folder also. That's your wish. Like how you'll search? You can say, yeah, again here also, here only you can search. You can type my resume dot star or something you type now. So like that you can search. But the files you can search. These tables you can't search. They are hidden. Such a kind of security you'll have. So data is so secure now, it is coming to you built-in. This is the built-in support of database what you are getting. Okay, this is a built-in support. You open the window. Okay, it's a built-in support of database you are getting now. Okay, so it gives you high level security also. So that is what I was telling you yesterday. Clear? So database management system. This is what is database management system. Okay, so these are the different data types. Slowly you'll be learning this. Yesterday I told you which one? What is the management of data means what? Providing data security against unauthorized access. Yesterday I wrote down this point. Same thing now. Your file is, this table is untraceable for you. There is only legal access. How? You have to connect to database. In the database you have to go to schema. In the schema only you have to connect to table, and from the table you have to retrieve your records. This is the only mechanism how you can retrieve the values. So that kind of a security by default you are getting now. You don't have to worry about all that now. Clear? So fine. So that is what is DBMS now. Means more points are there for DBMS, but these are the two most important points for what? DBMS. Okay, it provides you mechanisms for doing data manipulation such as adding, updating, deleting or reading. Apart from that, it provides you data security. Yeah? So nobody can access it now. Only a restricted approach. Come to the editor, in the editor go to schema, and that's the way you have to access it. So fine, this is done now. So table has been dropped. So again what I'll do now? Now I'll start creating the table and we'll start working with the table now. We'll see some more queries now. This is a brief summary of yesterday's thing, what I gave you, what exactly happened when we did yesterday, all that, which one? Queries and all when we executed. These are the things which happened yesterday. Okay, so today we'll continue with some more things. Okay, we'll see again how to create the table and write some more extra queries. Some more extra queries we'll write. Clear? Okay, fine. So practice this and slowly you'll get the grip of database. Once you get the grip of database, next you can start writing more. Open mat. Do. Hello, open. Okay, so then this is how it has been designed. So now we'll start working more with which one now? Tables, yeah, fine. Okay, so these are the different data types. Yeah, so fine, now we'll start off with this. So drop table employee, I'll execute the first query, but I am copying and pasting. It's better is, why it's not pasting here? Okay, I just open the window once again. Windows are CMD SQL plus HR. Okay, so drop table employee. If the table is there, it will drop. It does not exist. So next what will I do? I will create the table. So understood now the data types? Slowly you'll understand. I'm using only how many data types now? 3 three data types. Which are they? Employee ID, number, name is varchar, and then salary is number. So press enter, table gets created. Now you can type again DESC employee. You can see the table has been created. But is there any data inside this? No. So how will you create? If you want, you can see the data. Select star from employee. There is no data. So table is there. So what has exactly happened now? So when you run this query, a table got created called as employee. It has one column by name employee underscore ID, and this column has the ability to store only numerical values because I have specified the data type as number, and the size also I have specified only 5 digits. You try to give more than 5 digits, error will occur. Okay, so be careful with all this. So then next you got name. So name also size is, it's of type what? Varchar, means it can store group of characters, string kind of values, and the size is 20. If you try to give a value more than 20, see what happens, you'll get error. So size is compulsory, 20 only you have to give. Then next, one more column I have. What is it? Salary. It's of type what? Number. And the data type what it can store is numerical value, because salary, salary is of type number. Are you clear? So I've created a table with 3 columns now. So this is how the table gets created now. Table is existing, but there are no values inside your table. So now I'll insert the values. Are you clear? I'll insert the values. How will you insert the values now? How will you insert the values? Insert into employee values. So this is one way I showed yesterday. If you do like this, what happens? One row created. So what is happening now? What is happening? Yeah. In the first column, 101 is stored Ramesh. So Ramesh has to be given in what? Single quotes, because it is varchar. So any varchar you have to give it in single quotes. Salary is what? 1000. So one row gets inserted like this. If you want to insert one more row, fine. So you can insert, there are many styles, many ways you can insert. One more way how you can insert is this way. How? See, look at the query. Look at both the queries. Are you finding the difference? Okay, there are 2 queries I used. One directly you get the values, another what you did. You specified the columns. Employee ID, name, salary. So here the difference is, if you type the query like this will be inserted into the first column. The second value will be inserted into second column. Third value will be inserted into third column. That's how it works. But if you type this kind of a query, it's not like that. This value will be inserted into this column. This is how it goes on. So and sometimes there are too many columns, but you want to insert into some few restricted columns. That time this querying will become very useful. Like there are 5 columns. I want to insert the data into only 3. So that time if you try to do like this, what will happen? It will go into first, second, third. But if you insert like this, it will go into your required column. So that is why we always write the query like this. Practice like this only, you will understand the advantages of this in the further classes. So means what happens? 102 will be stored in which one now? Employee ID. Rajesh will be stored into what? Name. And 2000 will be stored into salary. Okay, supposingly I don't want to insert what? Name, example. So remove this. And here you'll give what? Only 2 values. I'll insert and show it to you. Okay, but now what are you doing? You're skipping what? Name. Sometimes you'll be having necessity, like you want to skip some column. You don't want to give any value. So that time it will become useful. But if you follow this kind of a query, what will happen that time? The second value will be inserted into second column only. That problem will come. Okay, I'll show you. You don't have to worry. So that's why we follow. This is the best approach of storing what? Values into the database. So now, always practice this itself. See, one row created. Understood? And I'll commit. If you want to say make permanent changes, so you can say commit. And I'll make you understand just now what I told. Understood? See, insert into. Up down arrow key use. Okay, I'll get the previous queries. So insert into employee ID, I'll remove the name. Okay, and I'll remove here also what? Name. So now what happens? What happens? And I'll give this as 103. Okay, I'll insert. I'll insert. Now what happens? One row is inserted. Now let's see. Select star from employee. See what has happened? In 103 name is there? No. But if I try to write the same query like this, insert into employee ID, what will happen? 103 will be inserted into first column, 2000 will be inserted into second column, and it gives error. Why? You are sending a numeric value. So means what I am trying to say is the first value will be inserted into first column, second value will be inserted into second column. But if you give correctly, it will insert. See, this is error. Okay, but if I give correctly, something like in single quotes I'll give A. Now it will insert. First one in first column, second one in second column. No, again, no, you have to give fully. You have to give all the three values. Here compulsory in this type of querying, what you have to do? You have to give all the values. Otherwise it will not insert. But there you can, if you go in this style of querying, what will happen? You can insert into required columns. So here it is mandatory you have to give the values for all the columns. So that will be the problem. So that's why better you go into querying into this type. Which one? Insert into column names, values, then the values. Are you clear this now? Okay, practice all this. Okay, these are the two styles, and now I told you which is the best style. See, among the two, which one? This one and this one. This is found to be the best because you can insert into your required columns and whatever values you want you can insert. But here you have to give the value to all the columns, which will be a problem. Okay, so do it. And also one more thing is, in your application you will not understand. If you write this query into your application, no, you will not understand which value is going to which column. But if you write your query in like this in your application, or which is Java application, you will understand this value is going into this column, this value is going to this column. Like that clearly you will understand in your application. So follow this convention. Are you clear? So that second query is the most important query for inserting values now. Okay, see there is one more way of inserting values into the database. We'll see that also. This is one more way. Okay, and one more thing I'll do now. I don't want these values now, so what I'll do? I'll roll back. I don't want all those junk values, so I'll do roll back. So roll back complete. So if you again say select star from employee, what happens? The values are gone because I did roll back. I didn't commit that now, so that's why it's gone now. Okay, so now again I want to insert some more values. See this, you can write a query like this also. One more way of how you can insert. What I'll do, insert into employee values. What I'm telling? Ampersand of employee ID. Okay, I'm not giving it in single quote, but name I'm giving it in single quote. Ampersand of name is in what? Single quote, because this is varchar. Understood? And then finally I'm telling ampersand of salary. So if it is number, you don't have to give single quote. If it is varchar, you have to give single quote. So this helps you to insert dynamic values. Understood? We'll see how to insert the values using this query also. Just see this now. So I will insert, press enter. So as soon as I press enter, it asks me for the value. So yes, 103. I enter your employee ID. It says 103. Sorry. Okay. And name, what should I give? Instead of 103, I give 10. No problem. Okay. Or I'll do roll back and I'll give the values once. Okay, fine. 10 I have given. No problem. Then next, name, what I gave yesterday? Third person name. Ganesh. No. Yes. Type it in caps only. All values you give in caps. Ganesh. Okay. So then what is the salary I gave for him? So it is the third employee. I'll give it as 3,000. Fine. Now one row is inserted. Now if you want to insert one more row, now you don't have to type the query again and again. Use forward slash. Forward slash. Like this you type. Yeah? Forward slash and press enter. Again it will ask you. Enter the ID. So like this you can go on giving your values fast. 104. Understood? And what is the next name I gave yesterday after Ganesh? Revati. And what is the salary? 4,000. Like this also you can go on inserting. One row is inserted. Now one more row you want to insert. 105. Sorry, use forward slash. Forward slash. So 105 is what? Ravi. Then what is the salary? 5,000. One more row is getting inserted. One more. 106. Sorry, forward slash. Okay, 106. Kumar, salary is 6,000. Fine, one more row is inserted. Again, if you want to insert one more row, forward slash. So like that you can go on inserting any number of values. ID 107. Come on, Rama I gave. Then 7,000. So now like this the values are getting inserted. Understood? If you want you can commit now. COMMIT, commit, and now you can say select star from sorry 8 I have written, star you do. So it will display you all the values. One I made a mistake, instead of 103 I gave 10. So that has been committed now. Okay. If you want you can update it and change it. Leave it now. Right now don't bother. So now we started storing the values. So what did I do now? As I went on executing the queries, the data went on getting stored into the database. 103, 104, 105, 106, 107. Rajesh, Ganesh, Revati, Ravi, Kumar, Rama. Okay, like this some values have been stored and these are their salaries. So right now what did we do? We saw how to do the insert operation. Yes, means creating a record. C stands for what? Creating a record. Okay, are you clear this now? Any questions here? Okay, so this is done. I have committed. Now see, we are committed. Always commit whenever you want. And rollback will go to what? Last commit, remember that. So I committed. Next, the table is there. Now there is a requirement. I want to add one more column. Table is already there. See, now we'll get more requirements like this. Table is already present, but I want to add one more column called as password. Later on you want to modify your column or modify your table. So what is that I want now? One more column I want. So how will you do? Very simple. Alter table employee. So we are learning some more queries now. Add. What am I saying? See, alter table employee. Alter the table. You want to add something. What do you want to add? Password column. Data type. Varchar. Size is what? 20. Finished. One new column gets added now. New column is added. See this. So more queries we are seeing. Observe. Table altered. Understood? Type it, you'll get it. And if you want, you can type DESC employee. Same password has been added now. And if you want, you can type select star from employee. Now you can see password column is there, but fact is there are no values inside it. ID is there, name is there, salary is there. What is the value of password? Nothing. But in fact we call this as null values here. If you don't see any value, this value is called as what? Null. It will not display it to you. But if there is no value in a column, it will be containing a value called as null. N-U-L-L. Null value. Yeah? No, null. And this is where it starts off. Many things will start off from here. Okay. If the value is not there in the column, it will be having null value. Fine. Next. Okay, if I want to drop the column, what will I do? I can drop the column also. Any column you want, you drop. It's your wish. But be careful while dropping, because if your column is having values, your value will be lost. Understood? If I drop the, see, this is the syntax for dropping the column. What is the syntax? Alter table employee, drop password. Which column you want to drop? Drop. Now in password there are no values. Is there any value in the password? No problem. So you can drop it. But if there were values, the values would have been lost forever. Be careful. This is permanent data. If you delete anything here, it is permanent deletion. Your application will not be able to fetch that value later. Understood? So even if you want, you will not get it. So I can drop the column. See here again. Press enter. Table altered. Understood? So next what happens? You see, describe which one? Select star from Data means these three columns are there, but password column has been gone now. Understood? Fine. Now, again I want it, anyway I need that column, so again I will create it. Which one? I want the password column, I will create it. So again you see describe, it will be there now. Which one is that? You can see here. Employee ID, name, salary, password. Describe employee will show me the description of the table. So now password I deleted and again I created. Clear? Password column. Fine. Now see one more thing. You notice here clearly. You can not only you can add a column, but sometimes here name. What is the size of the name? 20. I want to increase it to 30. So now I can drop and create a new one. But if you drop and create a new one, what will happen? Data will be lost. In name column, data will be lost. But I want just to modify it. So that time also I can do. Instead of add, you'll use one more syntax. I'll say alter table, employee, modify I'm saying. Modify will modify an existing column. Add will add a new column. So when will you use modification? If you just want to modify something, that time you use modification. Because see, I could have taken an approach like this also. What approach? I could have said drop what? Name. But if you drop name, what will happen? Values are gone now. So that's why what I'll do. I'll not drop it. I can drop and again create same like this. With what? See, my requirement is very simple. I want to create, name is now having size of 20 characters. I want to make it 30. My very simple requirement. So I can drop this. If I drop, what will happen? Data is lost. So instead of dropping and creating a new one, what will I do? I will modify it. Very simple query. See this? Modify. That's all the differences. Add I said. Here I am saying modify. Which column you want to modify? Name. What do you want to modify? Instead of 20, I'll make it 30. That's all. Earlier we are having what? See in the earlier query. I had created name of size what? See there. Create table employee. Name was having 20 characters. But now I'll make it 30. Very simple. And again I'll say DSC, check out. Very clearly it shows. Employee ID same, name varchar 2, now what it is? Varchar 2 20 name. This time after modifying it is 30. Then number, salary that remains same, password column I added extra. Are you clear? Fine. So you have added a new column now. Now my next requirement, so like this, we start working with the tables now. My next requirement, we start getting requirement now. I want a password to be given for Ramesh now. And I want to give it as Ram. So tell me the query, how will you write now? You know this much of database. Insert into. Now that is what you know about, which one? Database. See, insert query will always insert a new record. Remember that. It will insert a new record. I do not want to insert a new record. I want to make changes to the existing record. Now you have to use update. So you should know where to use insert, where to use update. So start carefully working with the queries. They are not as simple as you're thinking. Understood? Okay. Initially you think what? You know database, but nothing you know. I'm telling you very clearly. Clear? So what do you do now? From here it starts off. So I'll do update. Understand? You know why I'm doing update? Because row is already there. So what I should do now? Update the existing row. What row? See, this is one row. In this row, one column is having what value? Null value. This null value I want to be replaced with Ram. So what will I do? Very simple. I'll write update employee. Same update. Set password is equal to Raj. Okay, I think I'm doing it for employee ID 102. Okay, 102. You can make it for 102 or 101, not an issue. But we are saying employee ID is equal to 102. Are you understanding how you write the update queries now? Update query will be used for modifying existing rows. Row will already be there. If you want to modify the existing row, you'll be doing it now. So be careful. You should know when to write which query, because these are the queries. Here it is okay. Whatever you want, you will do. These queries should be written in what? Application. And one wrong query, what will happen? Wrong value will be inserted into your database. Be careful in writing your queries. Clear? Here everything is easy. One row updated. Now again I'll say what? Select star from. One second. Now see, only one person has been updated. If I had not given a condition, what would have happened? All persons password would have been Raj. If I had not given where employee ID, this part you don't write. Check out what happens. Everybody password will be what? Raj, because it will update the full table. Wherever it means everywhere it will update because I have not given a condition. So giving this where condition is very, very crucial in 3 queries, which are when you are reading, when you are updating and deleting. How to write the where condition you should know. Okay, you're reading, updating and deleting. Right now I'm showing you with what? Updating. Later on I show it with read. Then I show you with deleting also. If you don't write the proper queries now, conditions, lot of problems you will face. So inserting is very, very easy. You don't have to bother about inserting. The biggest challenge what developers, application developer faces in doing RUD operations. Reading, updating, deleting. Because one wrong mistake what will happen? It might affect the full table itself. All the data might get corrupted. So what you have to do? You have to write accurate queries. So you should know, that's what I'll be covering now, how to give the where conditions. Understood? So here I give the condition as where employee ID is equal to 102. Fine, one more I can update. Like see, I'm updating for what? You can update like this also now. What? Update employee, set password is equal to where name is equal to Ganesh. Like that also you do. Where employee ID is equal to means wherever it matches. Wherever it matches, there it goes on updating. Where name is Ganesh, it will update it to what? GAN, Ganesh. So now see, earlier only one person was having the password. So again you say select star. See here, now Ganesh has been updated. Yeah? So now what happens? For Rajesh, I gave the password as what? Raj. And for Ganesh, I gave the password as JN. Rest all are having what? Null values. It is not visible, but they are having null. Clear? So this is how it goes on now. Next. So we'll go more with select queries only now, because the select is the most challenging thing what the developer faces. So today I'll give you a rough idea about how to write select queries. A brief idea I'll give you. You'll get some ideas, some doubts will come. Those doubts in the next classes in depth I'll cover it up for you now. So in database, simple thing is going to happen. You'll be having one table. Maximum what you'll be doing? Inserting, reading, updating, deleting. Right now you are working with single table. Later on we'll work with multiple tables. That's all. Very simple concept here. But there are challenges. Because sometimes you want accurate data. Something like this, which I start teaching you how to do. Clear? Okay. So I'll show you how to write more select queries now. Okay. See, remember CUD queries do affect changes in the database. CUD queries. If you insert, it will affect the changes. Means some data will get manipulated or added, something like that. Update also will make changes. Delete also will make changes in the database. Read will never make changes in the database. Remember that. Yeah? CUD will always make changes in the database, but read will never make changes in the database. So I'll give you one today anatomy of what? This is not okay. Okay, I'll teach you the anatomy of what, or I'll break little, not to full extent. I'll show you how to write the select queries. So this is called as anatomy. But this is to a small extent I am teaching you, not to full extent. Anatomy of what? Select query. So this is how you write a select query. Select from where. For select now, these are all called as clauses. These are all called as clauses. Select is one clause. Okay. Select is one clause, from is one clause, where is one clause. Okay. See, these two are always mandatory. This one is optional. Okay, this is optional. And you know what happens. If you don't write where, what will happen? It will retrieve all the rows. Understood? But these two are mandatory. If you want to retrieve a record from the database, select and from is mandatory. Okay, why select and from is mandatory? Because, see the syntax, select, okay, from. Now what happens is, when you are writing from now, here you will give table name. Means there might be many tables in the database now, but from which table you want to select? Understood? So this is the syntax. You'll be from what will you give? You'll give the table name, and this is used for what? Selecting table. Which table you want to select? That table name you give it in the from clause. Okay. Now from the table there might be many columns. Which column you want to select? That you give it in select clause. So here what will you do? In select you write column 1, column 2, or you can say comma, column 3 in any order. Any order. Third column first, second column first, anything. Table might be created in some order, but by selecting you can retrieve it in any order. So you can select particular columns like this, or you might select what? All the columns. Two options. So these are very simple now. Okay. So anyway, this is used for what now? Selecting columns. Understood? See, this is the description I am telling you. This is the syntax. This is the syntax. But this is the description, what it does. It is going to select rows now. Okay. So now where is used for giving what? Condition. You give a condition. Okay. And how will you give the condition? You can give a condition and it is going to select what? It is used for selecting rows. In so many rows will be there. I don't want all the rows. So I'll tell, see, select from employee. It will select from employee. Which columns you want. But if you don't give a condition, all the rows will be selected. So now I have to give conditions. So we give a condition. Understood? So we give a condition using something called as if you give a condition, it will select the rows. What rows you want, only that particular rows it will select. And this will be always done by using something called as operators. You always select rows by giving what? Operators. There are some operators now which I will be teaching you. So in SQL also I got many operators. Understood? Some of the operators which we are going to learn today are first one, comparison. Second, the operators, the different operators you can use here are comparison or relational operators. Which are they? You know, no? Which are the comparison and relational operators? Equals. Correct? Huh? So here if you want to compare, no? In Java language if you want to compare, which is the operator you use? Double equals. But in SQL to compare we use single equals. That's the difference. There are a lot of differences between the two language, but concept is same. If you want to compare, no, in SQL we use single equals. In Java or C and all that we use double equals. Single equals in which one? It's something like this. See, in Java, first one, comparison operator. Okay, and in SQL we use double equals. In SQL, single equals. Assignment. You know what is assignment, no? Give the value to a variable. So we use single equals. Here we use an operator like this. So they are having their own set of operators. So many things are there, we'll be covering. So this is just one simple idea I gave you how there will be difference in operators. Anyway, comparison operator. Now relational operators are same, there's no change. Which one? Greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. Then one more is there. I'm not having space here. 1 second, I'll write it again. First one is comparison or relational operator. Yeah, what are they? This one greater than. One more is there. Okay. See this. Can you guess which one is this operator? Both together. See, this is comparison operator. It compare lesser than equal to, greater than equal to. What is this? Not equals to. In Java, not equals to we write what? Like this. Okay, not equals. So there are some slight variation. We write like this, not equals. But here what we do? Write like this. So these are the operators. Okay, we learn it because one language if you are comfortable, shifting to other language is very easy. That's why I tell you learn the Java basics very clearly. Means one language basics. Any language basics you will learn clearly, other language becomes very helpful to you. Fine. Next, one more operator, like there's something called as range test operator. Range test operator. It is called as between. Third one, set operator. In. Fourth one, pattern matching operator. Like. Fifth one, null value test operator. Is null. Sixth one, logical operator. Here it is and or not. See, these are the operators. I'll just classify like this. Understood. Comparison and relation operators are this. Range test operators between. Set operators in. Pattern matching operators like. Null value test operators is null. Logical operators are and or not. These are the list of operators. So these are the operators which you use for writing it with what? Where clause. So now writing where condition, you should know how to use all these operators. So I'll give you examples one by one. You start understanding which one? How to use these operators. And if you know how to use these operators, then only you can retrieve your data. Yeah? So are you clear this now? Anatomy of the select query. What? Select from where? Select is used for what? Selecting columns. From is used for what? Selecting tables. Where is used for what? Selecting rows. And this is the syntax. This is the syntax and what it does. And now how do you give a condition using all these operators? Yeah? Shall I clear all this now? Yeah? Okay. And what operator does what? We'll be seeing now with the example itself. There's one more thing what you can write. Neatly I have documented it. I'll clear this. So whenever you write a query now, select query, first see this and then you will understand the query, otherwise you will not understand. Whenever I write a select query now, always you should be referring to what? This particular thing only. That's the anatomy I've given it to you. Then clearly you will understand all your select queries. Simply if you try to understand, mug it up, it will not be a solution because there will be a lot of problems you will be having while fetching the values. So you should write it in analytical style itself. And this is a brief description is there. If you want you can write it down. And I'll be using them. I'll give you examples. Very clearly you will understand all this. There are many operators which can be used with where clause, comparison, relation. They are used for what? Comparing single value. It is used for comparing single values. I'll make you understand that point. What do you mean by comparing single value? Range test operator is called as what? Between. I'll give you an example. Set operator used for what? Comparing multiple or set of values. I'll give you an example for that also. We can I'll just move it up so that we can see that document. We can give, see, set operator. We can give multiple values using in as compared to a comparison operator where we can give only a single value. Okay, so this is the concept, and for you understanding this concept I have to execute all these queries now. Then only you'll understand this. Then pattern matching, I can use what? Like, that's one operator. And I can use percentage or underscore. Yesterday I showed you using percentage. Okay, last class. Percentage replaces what? Multiple characters. That is 0 or more than one character. Means it's a wild character. Okay, underscore is also wild character. We'll use it. So these two wild characters will be used with what? Like operator. Then there is null value test operator is null, and there is a more logical. These are the three logical operators. So I'll use one by one. So first I'll be taking the example for what? Comparison operator. Understood? First I'll be taking the examples for comparison operator. So let's start seeing now the queries. Yeah. So I'll start off. See, select star from employee. I'm starting to teach you what now? How to write the select query. And understand how to give the condition here, because if you know how to give the condition here, it will be helpful for you in writing what? UD operations. Update, delete operation also it will be very helpful for you. Understood? Because in one place we learn how to write the where condition, and the same where condition can be applied for what? Even update also, delete also. So better you practice it here itself. It will help you a lot. So select from employee. Yes, see this. Paste. Yes, it executes. You know this. Okay. It's because why? Select. Star means you are selecting all the columns. All the columns from which table? Employee table. So select is used for selecting columns. From is used for selecting tables. So select and from is mandatory. We want to write a select clause query. No. Select and from is mandatory. Where is optional? The query will work without where also, but problem is it will retrieve all the records. Understood now? Next. See, as I told you, see, the queries are case insensitive. Now I'll show you. You can write it in small case also. It works. The same query I'm typing it in what? Small case. See, I'll type. Select star from employee. I'm typing it in what? Small case now. What happens? It is executing now. Is there any difficulty? Select star from, I wrote it in small case. So remember, in SQL, all your queries, all your table names, all your column names are case insensitive. You create a table with what? Capital employee. You created a column with what? Capital employee ID. You created a table with what? Capital name, capital salary. That's how you create it. See here, DESC, employee. See, it's showing you. What is the name of the table? Employee ID. Column name is what? In caps now. It is in caps. Name is what? In caps. Salary is what? Caps. Password also is in caps. But while writing, I can write the query like this. See, select. I can write employee ID. I can write it in small case. Employee underscore ID, comma, name. I'm selecting only two columns from employee. It works. There's no problem with that. Check out. So all your queries is also case insensitive. Understood? And table name is also case insensitive. Column name is case insensitive. Everything is case insensitive here. Okay. Now see, I'll write a query like this also. Select. See, now in select, L will be caps. E is smaller. ET means however you want to write now. Select star from E M P L O Y E E. See what I have written. Does this work or not now? Works. Uppercase, lowercase, anything you do, this works. It will not give any error. So queries, table names and column names are case insensitive, but do not do this. We have some standards. Okay. So even though it works, we always go with uppercase only. This is the standard what we follow. Are you clear with this? In this query, what has happened? L is caps, T is caps. But spelling mistake, error. I'll make some spelling mistake. Let's see, I'm removing L or M. Table is not there now with this name. Error. Table or view does not exist. Now see this. I'll bring back employee. Now I'll make error in querying. SEECT. So that you will get a different error. It says unknown command. Understood? So means it fails to compile. When it fails to compile, it cannot execute. So like this you should understand the errors. So all the queries, table names and column names are case insensitive. Are you clear with this? See here. SQL queries, table names and column names are case insensitive. And I showed you that. I can write like this also, or I can write like what? This also. Both will execute. Are you clear with this? But we always go with what approach? Caps approach only. Next. See, one more I'll show you. I want one more clause I'm showing you. Along with select, it can be used. Select from where. One more clause what you can use is order by. One more clause. Okay. Select from where you can use it. So order by salary. So what it will do? It will display you everything in. Are you clear with this now? Case sensitivity over. You'll understand more. I'll go. See, actually I'm not able to scroll. So what I'll do? I open a new window. because here the queries are to be written in the bottom now. So I'll open a new window so that again we can start from the beginning. So what I'll do, I can't clear the screen here. So what I'll do, close it. Windows are CMD SQL plus SQL plus HR. Yeah, now again you can start working. Same queries I'll continue now. So order by salary. Clear? So it is displaying you in order, in fact ascending order. In fact, while inserting, I inserted all the salaries in ascending order only, it doesn't make any difference. But by chance if the salaries were in some different order, okay, or I can say order by, say I'll say name. It is sorting and displaying. Default sort is ascending, default sort, and this also can be used with what? Select from where? Order by. Order by should be used in the last. Order by, you have to tell the column name, which column you want to sort. Understood? Based on which column you want sorting, that you have to give. That's all. Order by is very simple. Okay. Default sorting is ascending. If you want, you can go for descending also. Let's see how do you go descending. Very simple. Order by salary of what? DSC. That's it. Descending means what will happen? And I'm selecting how many columns? I'm selecting how many columns? Only name and salary from employee. Okay. Order by salary. Descending. So I'm selecting only name and salary. That's why it will not display me ID. Are you clear? Okay, fine. Next. Yeah, this is over. Now I'll go with the next query. See, we start with the examples now. I'm going with the first one. Which one? Comparison operator. So for a comparison operator, all the comparison or relational operator, you can give what? A single value. Means here when you are giving a value, no, it should be a single value. Where name is equal to Ramesh, where name is equal to Rajesh. Okay, only one value I can give. Understood? You cannot give multiple values. So when the query runs now, it will go on checking with every row. Wherever it matches, it will display you all the rows. When you execute the query now, the query will be submitted to the database. It will go on running the query on this table. Okay, wherever the records match, the records will start getting displayed. So now what it's going to display me now? Where name is equal to Ramesh means it's going to go to hit the table. Supposedly two Ramesh were there. Both the records would have been displayed. But the thing is, for equals, I can give only a single value. For equals, I can give a single value. Clear? For where name is equal to Ramesh. See now, I'll execute this. It executes. One more Ramesh was there, definitely it would have executed. But the thing is, for equals, I can give only a single value. Only one value. I cannot say like this. Okay, I'll be showing you what is single value and multiple values later. But I can give only a single value. Fine. Next, see this. I told you, this is a very important point now. Here is the catch. We are stressing on what? Queries are case insensitive, but value is sensitive. Your value is sensitive. Now see, this will not execute. Ramesh is there, but this query will not execute because there is no small Ramesh. Small Ramesh means in small case. So data is highly case sensitive. That is why I am stressing so much on what? Queries are case insensitive, table names are case insensitive, column names are case insensitive, but data in the database is case sensitive. See this now. It's say the same thing, but only thing is what I have done. Small Ramesh. It is not there. No row selected. But the same query I will run. See this. Query is in small case. See now. So storing data in the database becomes so crucial. You should store it in a proper manner. You will be having the data, but your application will be not able to retrieve it. That is why we application developers, see the user in the UI, remember this, the user in the UI, if I ask him to enter the name, He will give in small case or uppercase, we don't know. But while storing in the database, we application developers, see, I'll ask him to enter name. Okay, enter name. So the user can enter Ravi in small case or uppercase now. Who knows? Yes or no? Ramesh also I can enter in what? Small case or uppercase. Okay, so like this we can't predict. The user will give the values. You have also become a member to what? Yahoo Rediff. You're not bothered. Whatever you want, you are giving the names. Okay, but the fact is while storing, see these values in entry application. And this we have to dump into database. So before we dump the values into database, what we do? We convert the lower case to uppercase and dump. You'll be having the string now, but how will you convert? S dot uppercase. So you'll start using the functions now. So Java is giving you so much of support, C for coding. But in C if you use, how will you convert lowercase to uppercase? Becomes very difficult. So this is the support we get from the Java language for coding. You'll understand when you start using Java. Understood? So whenever you get a value, it's always better you store it in database, because now if you when you are querying now, there will be a mismatch. So that's why always store it in uppercase. Clear? So data is highly case sensitive. Follow all these rules. It will become helpful for you. So now you might have one doubt. Sir, I'll ask the user to type it in caps. Yes or no? He'll tell, please enter in caps. This is my application now. So what will the user do? Or deliberately he'll enter in small case. People who are from computer science, what they do? Let me give lowercase and see what will happen. Those are non-computers, what they do? They'll follow all the rules. Means you have got all types of user for your application. We can't predict. A good user also will come, a bad user also will come. Okay, good user means who's having good information about computer. Bad means he doesn't have any information. Simply whatever is there, he'll follow that. Okay, so but the fact is, there is a possibility that your application might get what? Data like this. So that means small case or uppercase. Better is what? Convert it into uppercase and store it. Are you clear? Okay, and in fact is the column size what you'll be specifying here now? 6 means for name, what did I specify? 30. That will be based on these fields. Looking at the field, they'll create what? The column size. So always to create tables, this UI is mandatory. I'll be showing you all this how it happens later. Okay, name. If it is a name column, that value will be stored into what? If it is name field, this is called as a field, that value will be stored into name column. Understood? If it is a phone number, so that will be stored into what? This is a field. This will be stored into what? Phone number column, like that. So now what will be the size of phone column? Maximum is 12, no? No phone numbers are more than 12 digits, or maximum you can keep 15. If you want to include what? The STD, IST code and all, maximum that range. So depending on your field, the column size will be set. I am setting now, ID is 6, name is 20 characters, salary is 6 characters, depending on this. So slowly you start getting the idea how the tables will be designed. So all your tables will be designed from what? UI point of view, user interface point of view. That's why I told you we are studying database from what point of view? UI means the application point of view. Understood? Application point of view, industry standard point of view and all that. Clear with all this now? Okay. So data in the database is case sensitive. Understood? But queries, table names, column names are all case insensitive. Be clear with this. Yeah, so I executed this query for you. Means here the query means the values will be fetched. The reason is queries are case insensitive, but data is case, since this will work, what I have selected will work, but this will not work because data is sensitive. Clear? Fine. Now see, I'll go with what? Next is which operator? Lesser than. So I'm giving conditions now. How am I giving conditions? Select star from employee will do what? Select all the columns. But I'm giving a condition where salary is less than 3,000. And these are only your interview questions. When you go to this one, no? Interview, what they'll ask? Whatever I'm teaching is only interview question now. They'll directly ask you, write a query for this, write a query for this. They'll not ask you to explain how to write, select from where and all. They'll keep on table and ask you to fetch the values. Write a query for this, write a query for this. So you should know how to write the queries now. So practice here itself, where salary is less than 3,000. So again I'm giving how many value? Single value, no? 3,000 is a single value again. Check this out. It works. There's no issue. So where clause is used for eliminating what now? Rows or selecting rows. Clear? So select star. Now see, I can also go with what? Greater than symbol. Very simple. When you look at the document, it might look what? Big headache. But when you start executing queries, they're very simple. Salary is greater than 3,000. Greater than 3,000 will not be included. From 4,000 it will start displaying now. Okay, if you want equal to. Okay, now see here, select star was doing what? Selecting all the rows. But I want particular columns now. Sorry, select star was selecting all the columns. But I want particular columns. Yes, see the combination now. How you are doing? Selecting what? ID and name. From which table? Employee. Where salary is greater than 3,000. See how you write the queries? Understood? So we have started giving conditions like this. Now see, order by, I can still use what? Order by, salary. More it continues. Select the particular some column names you give. I'm selecting what? Name and salary from employee, where salary is greater than 3,000. Order by salary. By default it will be in what? Ascending order. If I want, I can make it DESUAT, it will become descending. Understood? So right, execute all these queries. And next. Now see, when I say less than 4,000, what will happen? 4,000 is not included. But if you want less than and equal to, getting it now? Very simple, execute now. So 4,000 also will be included. But the columns which I selected are ID and name. I am not selecting salary column, notice. I selected only ID and name. Okay. But if I say only less than 4,000, Revati will not be displayed. Because Revati's salary is 4,000. You understood what is less than and less than equal to? Understood? Similarly, you are having what? Greater than equal to. Done? Fine. Then next, not equal to. It will display me all the rows which is not equal to. Understood the operators now? So what is not equal to 4,000 it is displaying. All the records which are not equal to 4,000. For not equal to, what did I use? Greater than, lesser than. Don't think they are greater than, lesser than. That is one operator. Okay. In Java we say not equal to like this. It is one operator. Here also not equal to is written in that side. They have their own style. Every language will have their own style. Understood? Fine. Now see, select salary into 2. This will not modify, no? It will not modify. Means it will not make any changes. It will only display it. Remember that. Select query always goes on to display. It will never do any modification in the table. Fine. Now, are you clear with comparison operator? These are all the examples for what? Comparison operator. Next I'll show you one more operator. The next operator what you are going to say is range test operator. I want the people, means everybody's salary whose range is between 2,000 and 5,000. Fine. So this is called as range test operator. Select whatever column names you want to select. From which table you want to select. Where. Condition how did I give? Only focus on the where condition. From you know, where you know. Sorry, select you know, from you know. Only what you have to focus? Where condition. Select is very easy. Selecting the columns from table. Where salary between what? 2,000 and 5,000. So now see, executes. Whose salary is between 2,000 and 5,000. It is displaying inclusive of what? 2,000. 2,000 is included here. Okay. But for between I am giving two values. Notice that? Two values I gave. 2,000 and 5,000, two values I give. Till now we are giving what? Single value. Clear? Fine. Next. See, that is means anyway it is a range. It's called as what? Range test operator. Range test operator. The next operator we'll see now. Set. Okay. See, this is the now let's again revisit comparison operator. This operator will use it. Here I'll explain what is single value and multiple value. See this. So when I say select salary name from employee where name is equal to Ramesh, what happens? Only one person name will be displayed. But I want to get the value of Ramesh and Kumar. One more person is there now. You can see Kumar is 106. Ramesh is what? 101. I want both the records. So now I'll try to execute. See, I'm doing it now. How I'm doing? Select salary and name from employee where name is equal to Ramesh, comma Kumar. This will not work. You might type whatever you want, but this is a wrong syntax. So this is where you start making mistakes. Clearly understand. I show you where name is equal to Ramesh and Kumar. Look at the query. Clear? Error. I want to give what? Multiple values. This is error. That is syntax error. You type whatever you want. That database doesn't understand it. So you have to give proper queries. So it will give error. So what you have to do now? See here I told you very clearly. For comparison operator we can always provide a single value. This is a good example for it. Understood now? Are you clear with this? What is for means for comparison operator you can always give a single value. And this will give an error. Why? Because for comparison operator you are giving multiple values. So if at all you want to give multiple values, give like this. Use what? In operator. I'll write you. In operator. In is an operator now. See now how you give multiple values. This was error. See single value, multiple value. See this. Look at the difference. Single value. I try to give multiple values. Error. Now see how I will give multiple values. My name in. What I have done? The name in Ramesh, Rajesh. Now both the records will be displayed. Clear? How to give multiple values? So like this, you should know how to write queries. Because see, for writing logic is very easy in Java. Fetching values is very difficult. Which value you want? See, only you can write a logic only when you get what? Proper values. If you are not getting proper values only, where is the question of writing logic? So that important querying is. Understood? All these days you are thinking what? I'll write an application. Yes, you can write, but only when you can fetch proper values. Writing logic is the silliest and easiest thing on earth. You don't have to worry about that. Understood? Only you have to get the values properly into your application. User will give you, from database also will get. Writing logic is very simple. Okay, Java will give you tremendous support for everything. You don't have to worry for that. So focus on this now. Java is simplest, easiest. Fine. So this is how you can give multiple values. Do you have any questions here? Single value, multiple values, understood? Okay, next. Yeah. So and you can write queries like this also. Like you see I used between, in, now I'll use and also. See this. Just check how you write queries. Select employee ID, name from employee where password is equal to Raj and name is equal to Rajesh. Like this also you'll write queries. Understood? Where name is two conditions you are giving. So but again I'll analytically tell you what is all this later. Just practice all these queries. So no rows are selected because for Rajesh, what is the password? And what is the password we have got here? No rows selected, it is telling me. Don't we have a password for Rajesh? Password is not there. I didn't commit, I think. When I inserted now, I didn't commit, I think. Which one? Passwords. I'll just go back and execute those two queries now. Which one? Updating passwords. Yeah, now it is updated. I didn't commit that time. And I closed off the editor, you know that now? I closed the editor, that's why the values were not saved. So that's why before you close your editor, commit. Now it is updated. Okay. Now we can again come back and execute our query. Which one? Select. Yeah, select employee ID, name from, and name is equal to Rajesh. Now it will display. Yeah, fine. Then again, yeah, this is done. And name, okay. Name is equal to Rajesh. Fine. Now we'll go with pattern matching operator. See, I told you, percentage will replace what? Multiple character, that is 0 or 1 character. Let's see now how it works. Select employee ID, name from employee, where name like R percentage. It will replace 0 or means multiple characters, 0 to any range, 0 or more than 1 character. See this. Percentage is a wild character, it will replace 0 or more than 1 character. Understood? But underscore is not like that. What it will do? Replaces only a single character. So this is pattern building now. Pattern matching. Like is what? Like is a pattern matching operator. Okay. Like is called as a pattern matching operator. See, this is how you build your pattern here. Build your pattern how you want. Like R percentage. So whoever name starts with R and any number of characters, it will execute. Where name like R underscore. Underscore is what? Replaces single character. Means RA, RE, RM, like that it will go on replacing. But again, it should match all this. This is the pattern you are building. So once you build the pattern, where it matches, all those records will be retrieved now. So see this. Ramesh is retrieved. Yeah? Now see one more query. Next one, very interesting. Where name like, see this, what will happen now? How many records will be displayed? It replaces a single character. But Ramesh as well as Rajesh will be retrieved now. Understood? So this is how you go on writing the query. Single character only, but percentages, multiple characters. Clear? Fine. Next. Now see this, like this also you can use. Build your pattern. Like how you want, you can build your pattern. Yes, now again Ramesh only will be displayed. R-A-M-E-S-H. You can use a combination of both if you are getting doubt. See this. R underscore Ram percentage. Only Ramesh and Rama will be displayed. So like that you have to go on displaying. Understood? So this is called as pattern matching operator. Next means you are giving conditions. Do not forget that I am teaching you only how to give conditions in where clause. Fine. Next. See null value test operator. What it does? I want to see salary and name from employee table whose password is null. Now 5 people are having password as what? Null. Okay. So yes, you can see that also. Select salary name from employee where password is null. But for doing that, what operator I am using? Null value test operator. So is null is an operator. Okay, it's called as what? Is null is an operator. It's called as null value test operator. See this. I told you in the document very clearly. Second. See, null value test operator is what? Is null. It's an operator. Then I'll use logical also. I'll show you. Clear? So anyway, we'll come back. Null value test operator. See, logical operator I'll use now. What I'm using? Not null. I want to see the name and password of people whose password is not null. Fine, that also is possible. So like this, whatever requirements you have, these are the 2 records which are not having the password as null value. Not null. Not is what? Logical operator. So like this we'll see now. Okay. So we'll be seeing examples for or and everything means or also we'll see. Means here I showed you not and also I show you or also I show you. Later on I'll show you. Fine. Next. See Just execute these queries. About these queries I'll tell you later. Okay, these are called as functions, built-in functions. Select max salary from employee. These are called as functions. Do not bother more about this. I'll be covering later. Max is a function. Like in Java we have got built-in methods now. In SQL also I got what? Built-in functions. Yeah, same thing. What you have got in Java, operators, functions. Okay, same way you got here also. Understood? So I can write this. It will give you the highest salary now. Highest salary is how much? 7,000. Okay, fine. If you want the second highest salary, this is one query now. Write it. These are some of your interview questions. So the query goes like this: select max salary from employee, where salary is again what? Select max salary from employee. First, that side will execute. This query will execute. What will it execute? 7,000. So again, next what happens? This query gets executed. Select max salary from employee gets executed, but it should be lesser than that. Okay. So just what you do, run this query, and I'll explain more about this. So this gives you the second highest salary. So these are the two most. I'll put it in 2 lines for you to write. Where salary is select, what will you do? I'll break it here. So these two queries, if you write, it will give you what? Second highest salary. Means it's one query. It's one query. Just learn, practice it. It's just single query. Clear? So anyway, see, till now we learned how to write the select queries. Select will make what? Will not make any changes. See this. Select will never make any changes to database, but update query will definitely make changes to what? Values in database. See this now. Example I show you. What am I updating? See this. Just one final query which shows you an example for that. Update employee. I'm updating employee. Set password is equal to what? GGG. Salary is equal to 2 columns I'm updating. Where name is equal to Ganesh. I've started giving condition here also. Understood? So like this we give conditions. One simple, but this will definitely make changes. So after doing this, before you check, Ganesh will not be having what password as? What is the password of Ganesh? GAN. It will be overwritten to what now? Earlier it was GAN. Notice it was GAN, but now it becomes GGG. So like you give conditions while updating also. First learn it with select, later on automatically you'll understand with update also. Yeah? Okay, so we got a rough idea about how to work with database now. Okay, so practice these many queries. Next class we'll see more things about database. Okay, that's it.